Double Take Sports Talk, 5 good minutes with the Watts brothers. Coming up on this show, me and Daryl had a very brief conversation about this. We're going to get more in depth into it because of our beliefs. What D'Angelo Williams had to say about stats. We'll talk about that coming up next. All right, 5 good minutes, Double Take Sports Talk. Welcome to the show. Darren here on the other side of me is Daryl Watts.
All right, what's going on?
All right, we are here again and again and again.
Always.
And gonna keep being here.
That's right. That's right.
All right, here we are again.
Yep, we're here.
Oh, nothing interesting out there, nothing like that.
Well, unless you want to say Skittles is trending on Twitter. That's about it. I don't know what's going on with Skittles, but Skittles is trending on Twitter.
Congratulations to Skittles. That sounds really good right about now.
Yes, it does.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, I don't see what's going on with it. But
Oh, goodness. Where did it go?
calm down, Darren. No need to be dramatic.
Well, I have to because I can't find the... Oh, that got it. Here we go. Got it. Oh, maybe not.
It's okay,
Gathered in a family hustle for prayer. Football is family. NFL.com. Here we go.
As always.
Oh, the Cleveland Browns added,
Charlie Whitehurst.
yes.
So
Not sure what that's going to do to their game,
I
but
don't know either. He did pretty good with the Colts, but not phenomenal.
yeah, he wasn't the most phenomenal player to actually do anything. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about D'Angelo Williams and his comment that he made that kind of got my attention that I thought should be talked about. Are you ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our 5 minutes starts now. In a recent statement, D'Angelo Williams said to Game Day Prime, he said, "Stats to me don't matter. All that matters to me is a Super Bowl ring. I'm going to do whatever my coach tells me I need to do. If it's be a wide receiver, be a running back, be the water boy, take out the trash, whatever it takes to get to the Super Bowl." And that came from D'Angelo Williams that he put respect with a championship emoji on there. That being said, do you believe that stats should matter to players?
Not entirely. No.
Why?
Well, I think personally, sometimes this is within the heart of a player that goes out and perform. So even if they can have a bad game or a bad season, they can always bounce back, and the stats is not going to back up what they have been for.
What's wrong with knowing where you stand in the standings?
Ain't nothing wrong with it, but some of these players don't even see that. They don't see that. They just go out there and perform that like how they're supposed to.
Well, how can a player, suppose like me, there's no way in the world that I can go and prepare for a game without my stats.
I agree. A lot of people do film study instead of doing stats.
Okay, and even that film study, you got to know where you stand at with your numbers. You have to know where you stand at. It matters to me.
No, I mean, it matters to me too, but some of these players, it don't matter to them.
It matters to me. I'm sorry. I just can't sit around and expect myself to do a film study without having numbers beside
me.
See,
and here's the thing, and this is what I told you earlier when we was talking about it, before we actually got on. I told you earlier, looking at the 2006 Colts, you seen during the regular season, they was smack dead last in rush defense. All teams was running all over their defense. Gets to the playoffs, They was the biggest underdogs all the way through the Super Bowl. And at that point, they wouldn't even smack dead last in the NFL for rushing defense.
Had they not kept stats, they would have never known that.
No, and you're right. They would have never not known that. But studying the stats from the season, that's why they was underdogs. That's why they was underdogs, because they felt that the rush defense, Kansas City, Baltimore, they thought that Kansas City was going to take the Colts out because Larry Johnson had put up good numbers during the regular season versus the Colts being smack dab last in the regular season.
Now, how will we know this? Because of the stats. It matters.
It matters, but what I'm telling you is that that's why they believed with the stats from the regular season that they was not going anywhere. They ended up winning the Super Bowl.
But this man, D'Angelo Williams, says that it don't matter. Why do it not matter from his standpoint when it should matter in this standpoint?
Maybe the championship is more important to him. Like you said, the championship is more important to him.
How are you going to evaluate yourself without your stats?
They evaluate themselves through film study.
Okay, film study. What is that going to get you?
It may not get you anywhere, but still.
I think the combination of both would be your key factor into not only understanding yourself as a player, but knowing where you measure at when you're measuring up against other players. Sports science is one of my biggest statistics. Madden 16 shows all of that, exploits all of that. It matters.
I agree. But from a standpoint from other players, they don't see it like that.
Me and you just had this conversation. You said it didn't matter.
It don't matter. But what I'm saying is that as for other players, it don't matter for them. But for me, in the aspect of trying to study other opponents, I would use stats as my contributing factor. Now, you know, I've always studied performances on teams. And I rarely go to stats to study other players. I've always studied it based on their performances. So to me, yes, it don't matter. But when I do need to pull up the stat sheets on certain players, absolutely. I'm pulling them up and I'm going to study them. But it's not my go-to resort. That's not my number one resort like yours.
Mine's gotta have them. Otherwise, you're not going to know where you stand.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good for the prediction stat of it, and I barely do stat studies.
That's fine.
I'm just saying.
I just hope that you can pass me.
I may not get to that point, but I give it a shot. I'm not going to sit up there and beat around it. I'm going to try.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our 5 minutes. Thank you for listening to the show. Stop smiling at me because it ain't working. Don't give me that smile because it ain't going to work.
Okay. All right. You can check us out on the social media side. Listen to more of our podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at DTSD2414. Like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at the Watch Brothers. Subscribe on YouTube and also subscribe to our podcast on the podcast app featuring iTunes. Of course, we got the blog featuring critical thinking and analysis. You can check that out at doubleTakeSportsTalk.blogspot.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Thank you for listening. I'm Darren. That's Daryl.
Yes, sir.
Catch up with us on another episode. Until then, ciao.